Welcome back. You're watching Storyboard. Ariel has launched the third season of Share the Load movement, and for the first time in the TVC, the woman speaks for herself and asks herself, "Kya ye sara kaam sirf mera hai?" Since its launch, the whole Share the Load movement has raised this question: whose load is it anyway, and has also helped address the issue of gender inequality within the household. What was the insight behind the latest campaign, and what are the results that the previous seasons of Share the Load have yielded for the brand so far? We get these questions answered as we speak to Sonali Dhawan, Chief Marketing Officer, Fabricare P&G, and Josy Paul, Chairman BBDO, exclusively on the show today. Sonali, Josy, welcome to the show. So this is the third leg of Share the Load campaign. It has a mother talking to the son about sharing the load, teaching him how to do the laundry. Tell us, what is the kind of impact that you expect out of this campaign? Sonali, let's begin with you.
See, basically, I wouldn't call it a campaign, I'll call it a movement, because our intention is really to have some kind of a mass movement where we become very comfortable with the idea of raising sons who are equipped to handle all kinds of work. Of course, starting with laundry as a central point of the idea, as being just a symbol for all the kinds of work that women are expected to do at home and outside. So we do hope that we'll be raising a generation of sons where we will have the expectation that not just our daughters equipped, and we set the expectation for daughters that you should study and you should really pursue your career, but we also raise sons who are equally equipped to help their wives as they come to really balance this life and have more equality at home.
So the first campaign had a dad, helping his wife, learning from the daughter's house and going back to his own and, helping his wife with laundry. This one, shows a son later on learning how to do the laundry. How did you arrive upon the insight, Josy, and what was the brief given to you by the client?
So firstly, it's not about a brief, it's about briefing. We do this together, so it's not some transaction where you say something and say, now come back with an idea. I think the way we work is very collective. It's a lot of discussions because everyone's in it equally. So it's not, across a table, you do this, you come back, I judge. It's not that. So the collective helps, and more importantly, more women at P&G, that helps us become more, intuitive and empathetic to the cause. But having said that, we got to see this in perspective. In 2015, when we launched the campaign, we stated the issue. We just stated the condition because nobody had even bothered to state the condition. Yeah, so we said, is laundry only a woman's job? And nobody had said that because everyone was talking about equality, but no one was talking about equality in the house, in the home. And this was therefore a starting point. And then from condition in 2016, we went to conditioning, which is why is this happening? And then we began to look at something deeper than just, hey, no one's helping in the house, but there could be a reason, right? So we started looking at why this was happening. And one of them was the father who said, he became vulnerable seeing his daughter, made him realize that he didn't do it himself, which is why the boys are learning that way. But there's so much more to be done, Centuries of kind of conditioning can't be affected by just a 2-year campaign. So we said, let's dwell deeper. And there were lots of very interesting insights that the group came together. And for me, it's more than insight. It's like a soulful confession. And this one was based on the fact that there is one more reason why this is not happening. And that's because mothers teach their daughters to be amazing, to really strive to be the best because they want their dreams in a way through their daughters. But they forget that the son is kind of still stuck in the same old sort of world of education at home. And therefore, when finally things happen, eventually, if he gets married, when he becomes a husband, he's not going to be the best partner because the two ambitions are going to clash.
You know, with this campaign, Sonali, you moved away from, you know, speaking just about brand benefits. You spoke about, you know, how a guy should share the load with the girl in the family. Tell us, what was the impact on the brand perception over the last 3 editions of this, last 2 editions, and the third one is being released right now?
You know, I think this world, and not just Ariel, but otherwise this world is one in which you want the brand that you use to stand for more than the product. You really expect your brand to share an ideology with it, right? And we believe that, and in P&G actually, across our brands, we believe that our brands can be a force for good. And it was this thinking that we said that Ariel, from the product benefit itself, I mean, offers a product which anybody can use and get great laundry results, right? But it has to be more than it, into a philosophy. What we saw as we did this campaign is the attitude towards the brand has really changed. The brand is seen as a lot more progressive brand. You know, we do a lot of product initiatives and upgrades to make the brand look like it's innovative and then it's progressive. But what this campaign has done for the image of the brand is more than what many other product innovations could have done, because it resonates with what you as a woman are feeling. You find this yourself much closer to this brand, and then everything that this brand says, you know, it makes that much of an impact to you because you are in tune with the brand's philosophy. So we are seeing that a lot. All our subsequent initiatives also work much better, because this is what the brand really stands for.
Okay, so 2015 is when the campaign was launched, and still we see gender disparity when it comes to, you know, household work at every other Indian family. How will that change?
So I could take that, and Josy, probably you can comment. You know, we actually did a Nielsen survey. We really believe in data. So when we started this campaign, we kind of did a survey of how many men think that household works chores are only a woman's job. And up front it was around 70s. Last year when we did it again, this number was around 63. And now this year when we did it again, it was 52%. Which means that with all the work that has happened, and Ariel was a pioneer in this conversation, many other brands and categories have joined it, we can see that the societal norm is changing. 52% of men thinking that household chores are only women's job is still a very, very huge number. But it's much better than it was last year or the year before that. So I believe that as more brands actually take the conversation, as Ariel, we ourselves take the conversation on more fronts, we believe that attitudes will change.
So how are you planning to take this campaign, you know, on ground, you know, because beyond TV, beyond digital videos, or beyond just creating a film, how are you planning to take it on ground to probably smaller towns, specifically smaller towns, or, you know, tier 2, tier 3 cities?
Yeah. Actually, firstly, digital today is a phenomenon which is across India. I mean, you have more than 300 million people who are using data, accessing YouTube. So we believe that actually putting it out there in all the touch points that you talked will actually take this conversation. And the biggest thing which happens is it's the conversations that today get sparked on things like WhatsApp. Right? So we are basically looking at saying, how do we get these anecdotes, these actual stories of women and men where change has happened, and have them sparking conversations to means which can be further shared by people. Because if you make something which is heart-touching, we've seen that people share it. And today, more than ever, the means of sharing are there, no matter where you are, in a small town, big town. And that's what we're really achieving and trying to do. We will have on-the-ground events also across the board, but I think the most powerful medium is to create something so powerful that it makes itself shareable.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for speaking to us.
Thank you.
With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. But before we end the show, we have a campaign celebrating India's 70th Republic Day. Lava Mobiles has just released a new film, which is a part of its ongoing Proudly Indian campaign. This new film is a means to evoke a sense of pride among citizens who perhaps don't own the same sense of patriotism as their elder generation. We leave you with this film.
फ्लैग होस्टिंग के लिए सोसाइटी के सभी लोग नीचे आ जाइए प्लीज। सभी लोग नीचे आ जाइए प्लीज।
अरे तेरा हाथ शेक हो रहा है भाई।
लाइए लाइए, मुझे दीजिए। आप यहाँ आइए। स्माइल।